Windsor, on the banks of the River Thames, has been home to a castle. Windsor Castle isn't just one of the Queen's favourite palaces, it is absolutely central to the monarchy. It has been a royal palace for longer than any other building in Europe. The story begins
beneath the sprawling grounds of Windsor Castle, beyond the gilded halls tourists admire, and far below the public eye, lies a vault that few outsiders have ever seen.
Is the Royal Vault, where the Duke of Edinburgh's coffin currently lies, and where the Queen will lie temporarily before they are both buried beside her mother and father in the George VI Memorial Chapel.
The royal family has always shrouded its private archives in mystery, but whispers of this forbidden chamber have stirred curiosity for decades. To most of the world, it is dismissed as rumor. Yet fragments of testimony from former staff, hints dropped in rare interviews, and leaked documents suggest the Queen guarded something far greater than family memorabilia. The vault, according to palace insiders, was less a storage room and more a fortress of secrets.
In the vault already lie King George III and Queen Charlotte, King George IV, King William IV and Queen Adelaide, and 20 other members of the royal family.
Secrets that could shake the foundations of the monarchy itself. The story of the vault begins with King George V, who allegedly ordered sensitive documents locked away during the First World War. At a time when European monarchies were falling one by one, Britain's survival depended on secrecy and strategy. German correspondence, Russian telegrams, and even private letters between cousins ruling rival nations were hidden from sight. The young Queen Elizabeth inherited this practice, but rather than simply preserving history, she elevated. Staff recall her issuing orders that anything potentially damaging to the reputation of the crown should be sealed within what became known behind closed doors as the Forbidden Room. What lies behind its iron doors has long been the subject of speculation. Some say the vault contains the true correspondence between Edward VIII and Nazi officials, far more damning than what was released to the public. Others claim there are diaries from Queen Mary that reveal her hand in silencing scandals surrounding the abdication crisis. Most explosive of all are the whispers that documents exist tying members of the family to intelligence networks, financial dealings, and political negotiations hidden from Parliament itself. These are not the relics placed neatly on display in museums. These are records meant never to see the light of day. A former archivist, speaking on condition of anonymity after leaving the palace, described the vault as a shadow history of the crown. According to his account, entering the chamber required 3 separate keys held by different officials, as well as a written order from the monarch herself. Once inside, he claimed to have seen boxes marked only with initials, W for Windsor, S for Spencer, even M for Mountbatten. He said the air inside was heavy, almost funereal, and the files themselves so carefully guarded that even he was allowed only minutes at a time to handle them. He left with the impression that the vault was less about preservation and more about protection. Protection of a dynasty's image at any cost. The Queen's reasoning, some historians argue, was straightforward. Public opinion has always been the monarchy's lifeline. A single revelation about financial corruption, infidelity, or political interference could have triggered calls for abolition. In the 20th century, when Britain struggled through wars, recessions, and the loss of empire, the monarchy had to remain untouchable, above reproach. Anything threatening that illusion was locked away. The vault became the monarchy's insurance policy. But rumors persist that the Forbidden Chamber holds darker truths. During the 1990s, when the royal family faced crisis after crisis, from Charles and Diana's bitter divorce to the fire at Windsor Castle,
within minutes, the 300-year-old room was ablaze. The fire moved through the Crimson Drawing Room and St. George's Hall and showed no signs of slowing.
a former footman later hinted that Diana herself suspected her letters and recordings had been intercepted and hidden there. If true, then the vault may contain the last unfiltered words of the Princess of Wales, kept hidden to control the narrative of her life and death. There are also persistent claims about financial files. Investigative journalists who probed royal wealth in the 1970s noted sudden gaps in the records, as though critical ledgers had vanished. Some believe those missing ledgers were quietly transferred to Windsor's underground archive. They may reveal the true scale of the Crown's offshore holdings, property dealings, and investments. Knowledge that, if exposed, could spark outrage among taxpayers who fund the monarchy's lavish lifestyle. Even foreign governments are said to have taken interest. Declassified CIA documents from the Cold War hint at attempts to access private royal correspondence. One file, heavily redacted, refers to the Windsor Archive, suggesting American intelligence believed the vault held communications between the Queen and global leaders that bypassed official channels. If correct, this means the monarchy may have conducted back-channel diplomacy far outside the oversight of Parliament or prime ministers. Why then has no one dared open the vault to the public? The answer, insiders suggest, lies in loyalty and fear. Palace staff are bound by the Official Secrets Act. Breaching it could mean imprisonment. Yet the real deterrent is cultural. Service to the crown is considered sacred, a vow not easily broken. For decades, employees who glimpsed the contents of the vault chose silence, convinced that revealing the truth would bring ruin upon themselves. Still, small cracks in secrecy have appeared. When Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped away from royal duties, Harry hinted in interviews that there are stories that have never been told.
You didn't believe she was dead?
For a long time. I just refused to accept that she was gone. Part of, she would never do this to us, but also part of, maybe this is all part of a plan.
I mean, you really believe that maybe she had just decided to disappear for a time?
For a time, and then that she would call us and we would go and join her.
Some observers believe he was alluding not just to family tensions, but to the very archive that has long buried uncomfortable truths.
I don't think that we can ever have peace with my family unless the truth is out there.
Meghan herself spoke of feeling silenced and controlled, her words echoing suspicions that voices within the family are suppressed not only in life, but in history itself. What is most chilling is the possibility that the vault does not merely contain dusty files, but evidence of active manipulation. Royal watchers point to unexplained gaps in public records, missing diaries, even photographs that mysteriously disappeared from circulation. Where did they go? The pattern suggests a deliberate effort to rewrite history by omission. Each sealed box may represent a scandal erased, a life edited, a truth denied. The Queen, for all her devotion to duty, was known to be meticulous about image. Her decades on the throne were marked by careful control of narrative. To her, the vault may not have been sinister, but necessary, a safeguard ensuring that the monarchy endured unblemished into the modern age. Yet as Britain changes and demands transparency, the very existence of such secrecy feels archaic, even dangerous. What was once protection now seems like concealment. Historians argue that one day, perhaps in the far future, these files will be opened and the true history of the British monarchy will be revealed in its entirety. Until then, the vault remains a silent witness to decades of discretion, manipulation, and protection. Every secret hidden there has shaped the public persona of the crown, from wars and abdications to scandals and romances. The people see only what the palace allows them to see: carefully curated images, rehearsed statements, and ritualized appearances. Some claims suggest the vault may even contain evidence of covert operation. During the Cold War, intelligence reports hint that the royal family facilitated back-channel communications with global powers. Letters and coded messages may have been stored in the vault, inaccessible to historians and archivists alike. If this is true, then the Queen's secret archive was not just a repository of scandal, but a silent instrument of power, quietly influencing world events from the shadows of Windsor Castle. Former palace employees have also hinted at items that verge on the unthinkable: private diaries of monarchs, original coronation plans, letters from political leaders attempting to sway royal decisions, and even documents detailing royal knowledge of financial misdeeds across Europe. Each item, they say, was cataloged with extreme care, wrapped in acid-free paper, and placed in steel boxes. The meticulous care taken to preserve these secrets underscores their perceived importance and danger. The vault's very existence raises questions about accountability. While the monarchy operates under the gaze of the public and parliament, these hidden archives suggest there may be corners of history deliberately kept away from scrutiny. Every story of royal sacrifice, duty, or personal struggle may have an untold chapter locked away in the Queen's forbidden vault. The unspoken reality is that the monarchy's narrative has always been controlled, curated not just for diplomacy and tradition, but for survival. Visitors to Windsor Castle may admire the grandeur of the throne room, the glittering regalia, or the portraits of past monarchs.
Vestibule. This is decorated with famous armor from former monarchs and famous weapons of various knights, which is pretty awesome.
But none will see what truly defines the institution, the secrets that the Queen chose to hide. Every scandal, every love affair, every political maneuver, every financial maneuver, all cataloged, sealed, and preserved in a single subterranean chamber where the public cannot tread. Above all, the Queen's Forbidden Vault is a symbol of power maintained in silence, of history controlled by a select few, and of a monarchy that survives by carefully choosing which truths the world is allowed to witness. The vault may outlast monarchs, prime ministers, and media scrutiny alike. Its contents will remain locked, a testament to discretion, or perhaps a warning that some secrets are deemed too dangerous to reveal, even to the people who fund and revere the crown. For now, curiosity thrives in the shadows. In her lifetime, the Queen mastered the art of visibility without vulnerability. The Forbidden Vault stands as her ultimate safeguard, and in its silence lies the most provocative story of all. A monarchy meticulously curated, protected, and preserved, far beyond the reach of those who only glimpse its glittering surface.